With free agency over 2 weeks old and the combine in the books, pro days are underway. Let's take a look at some of the new mock drafts. Joined by Paul Dottino, I am John Schmeelk. Paul, let's start with the Godfather, Mel Kiper at ESPN. Two guys at 5 and 7 that a lot of people thought would be the first and second overall picks in this draft just a month ago. Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau to the Giants.
Well, I think everybody pretty much believes that these guys are going to be in the top handful of players on the board, no matter which team picks them, John. And I don't think either guy has really lost a whole lot of luster. I mean, Neal is who he is. The tape speaks for itself. He put up the combine numbers that everybody thought he would do. So I don't know that there's going to be any movement there. Now, as far as Thibodeau, now that's the interesting one. Now, we heard him talk about his interview with the Giants at the Combine where he said they grilled him pretty good. They wanted to hear about some of his emotional reactions and some of his feelings and thoughts about maybe not getting immediate sacks right away. And that's fine. You want to check out a guy's attitude. But again, the one thing that people are trying to slip him on a little bit is perhaps the strength and the ability to play the run.
Let's go over to Todd Mcshea, Mel Kiper's colleague over at ESPN, Paul. He has a different pass rusher, Trayvon Walker at number 5, and number 7, wide receiver Garrett Wilson from Ohio State.
Well, let's talk about Wilson for a second first. The thing that people love about him, besides his pure blazing speed, is that he can play all 3 wide receiver positions immediately. He's that smart and that good of a route runner and has that much athleticism that you're getting a multi-dimensional player right away out of the box. Trayvon Walker had a great combine, John. We know about his athletic numbers. They were off the charts. And this is a guy who seems to be a late riser on the board because we all knew he was going to be a good defensive lineman. The question is, how much of a terrific edge rusher is he going to be, despite the fact that we know he can play 3 technique? If he turns out to be a really good pro edge rusher, well, then people are not going to be disappointed if they took him this high.
Yeah, some projection there, but a lot of people do project him to be able to be a good edge rusher. Finally, over at NFL.com, our buddy Daniel Jeremiah, Paul, number 5, Ike Ekwonu, and then number 7, a new name for us, Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State.
Jermaine Johnson, 1 year with the Seminoles where he was a starter and had double-digit sacks, I believe had 70 tackles as well. So a very productive player after transferring for Georgia where he was simply a reserve and in the mix. So you've got to say to yourself, okay, look at the guy's athleticism, which, by the way, terrific. Plays the run well, and he tested very well in his drills. So you have to think, okay, 1 year starter, is that enough maturity? Is he far enough along that you can pick him that high? Long range, I think he's going to be a really good player. The question is how soon, because he didn't play all 3 or 4 years in college. As far as Ekwonu, well, there's really not much to say about him. He is a rock of a right tackle who will come in and start right away for anybody.
Stay tuned to Giants.com, all our social media platforms, as we continue to cover the NFL Draft.